Box here. So we got a little knowledge on what's coming with Madden 24. This is their final patching change tune to the game. Now, sometimes I will say there's two release windows for Madden. There's the pre-release, if you have like EA Play, you pre-order the game, and then the day one patch. Oftentimes, these notes are for the day one patch, and so we don't actually play the pre-release 3 days or so, whatever it is, on this patch. So take that for what you know. All right, top issue, input latency. If you play the beta, it was a major problem. You try to make pre-snap adjustments, and it was terrible. They did improve it a little bit for the second beta, they said, and it did feel a little bit better, without a doubt. Hopefully, and servers have been a major issue. Whoa. I didn't expect my chair to go back that far. Does it go all the way back? So servers have been an issue, like slow menus, franchises getting shut down. Been an issue for Madden for quite some time, especially in 23. Probably the biggest change that needs to happen is just literal housekeeping to keep the servers running correctly. So increasing the ability for lag not to happen is kind of important. Gameplay, pass blocking improvements, picking up edge sheet, Dollar's been the meta here for a little bit, and any sort of blitz off the, really since like 17, since they added nano detection going into 17, it's been edge blitzes. Edge blitzes, because like old linemen just refuse to acknowledge guys on contains frequently on the edge. They've patched this during the early, I can't tell you, probably at least a dozen patches so far have contained some, through the years since like 17, some sort of way of, we've increased the AI to the O-line of picking up edge sheet. I'll believe it when I see it, okay? That's all I'll say. This is some, we'll see, right? Like, it's like, yo, Fox, you do your homework? Yeah, I totally did that, Mom. Let me play some video game. Like, every night I did my homework. I never did my homework. Well, sometimes I did. All right, man coverage with win chance tuning. Man coverage is like, the biggest problem I have with it is I don't know what win chance tuning means. It's the fact that it knows which way I'm breaking before I even break. Okay? There's no reaction to it. If they're like off me and I'm running like an in route, they break in before my guy even shows it he's gonna break in, right? Because like in the NFL, like in Madden, routes are routes. Their depth is known, right? Outside of a rare instances on like a tight end zig that you can go to the first down marker, in real life, I can fake and shake whichever way I want. In Madden, if you're right here, if you're on a post, you can't make it. You're not making it unless you're making a really long, already pre-designed post pattern, like corner post. But no, that's the issue with Madden. Is there's no fakes, there's no differences, and it's something that I've kind of wanted for years. Is like create a play so that way like players can't just sit on a post pattern because it's supposed to break at this depth based off this play call on this specific screen. Make it more like real football. So it feels like the AI is basically like a user. Whereas like I know out of which formation, because the meta, I can predict what routes are going to be run based off the route concepts underneath. Okay? And so AI is doing that same thing. They're predicting you're going to run in or an out based off the call literally on the field. Okay? So we'll see what that does. Man press win chance. Yeah, man press was insane during it. Like you could go man press with 0 over the top help and just not even worry about it, especially with knockouts. Like all this is kind of like good words. We won't know how the game plays until their dumb ability system with knockouts are put into it. So like all these things, along with press man, win chance tuning, like people played press man with 0 help over the top because of deep route knockout last year. Okay. And then this same thing, catch, tackle, knockout tuning. Decrease trailing defender knockout chances when trailing behind receivers. More receivers will hold on to the ball since it's not being directly effective when pulling the catch. Now, this is great for attribute versus attribute gameplay, but if they have a deep route knockout, a medium, or a short route knockout, does this even matter? Like, if you're playing man coverage in MUT at all, this literally won't matter because you're going to have knockouts on those players most of the time anyways. So, like, that's one of the frustrations with the ability-based gameplay is, like, a lot of these things that they put so much time and effort into are completely null and void due to overpowered man coverage abilities. Pass rush disengage tuning is a huge W. Pass rushes would disengage off a block, then re-engage instead of being allowed to pursue the quarterback to get out of the pocket. Quarterback mobility is crazy in 23. 24. It's so much different than 23. But, you know, maybe it's been nerfed a little bit here with better pass rush disengage. Good, because I was sick of my guys being dumb and not going to the quarterback. This is something they said they patched a couple years ago. We'll see if it's going to be an issue again based off beta feedback. Match coverage. Match coverages are weird. Like, they should be really powerful, but they're so dumb at times that it's hard not to throw one-play touchdowns against it with any sort of common sense on how match works in this game. So, yeah, match coverage, it's okay that there are counters, but man, I wish there weren't like easy one-play counters every time in match. Like a little bit more knowledge on defenders and how to properly adjust to some routes would be great. Halfback screens coverage fix. Change man coverage behavior in halfback screens so defenders no longer psychic. They'll not charge into the offensive backfield to cover the screen, and the defensive tackle does not stiff out. This could be the buff that halfback screens needed to take over a game. There was like between modified screens and just straight screens was like 16-ish era, 15 and before. Halfback screens were crazy good. And in real life, like the thing is like defensive tackles, this should be completely based off play rec, right? It doesn't stiff out the play frequently, but it should if you have like 99 play rec. Like if you are a veteran DT that knows what he's doing, you just get like, you know, you just let pass, you're going to know that's a screen, right? It just feel like you've been doing this game for quite some time. So halfback screen coverage fix. Nice. Franchise trade tunings. Older players got their value knocked, as they should, right? There's pretty steep declines in older players in the NFL. You lose a step, especially at positions like cornerback. You're basically on the scrap heap and let go. Now, there is obviously the exceptions. You know, Patrick Peterson's getting up there, and last year had a great year for Minnesota. We'll see if he does well for Pittsburgh. I know Minnesota was more zone, and Pittsburgh, even though we're known for our zone blitz, we played a lot of press man last year in man itself, so we'll see how Peterson plays for us in that kind of system. Trades will be something they're going to monitor through the year, so they're going to update the trade tuning as it is increased going forward. We'll see, of course. XP earned for mini games. Quarterback injuries during franchise games. I know there was a glitch, like you couldn't get your quarterback injured, I believe, if you had only 2 quarterbacks on your roster. It was something like that. I saw Mills tweet about it. So quarterback injuries during franchise games, they're going to get injured a little bit more, it says. As they should, right? They should really, you know, obviously have a counterbalance it for game modes where injuries are off. Increase the fatigue and fumble chance. Because how often do you see guys going in and taking hit sticks at the quarterback position, right? They slide. They're smarter about it now. Some guys are pretty dumb, like the cover athlete of this thing. And Josh Allen knows he needs to slide more, stop taking hits. Like he got knocked out for I don't know how many games, but it was at Jonathan Jones of the Patriots a few years back by taking a hit. That happens to quarterbacks. They get injured a lot in the entire franchise. Like Joe Burrow going down is potentially devastating. And I hope he doesn't go down, right? We want best against best. Anyways, quarterback injuries in franchise games, yeah, there's a high risk in running with your quarterbacks. Even if some quarterback injuries do happen due to non-contact, it still needs to be some sort of risk reward to running with the quarterback. Updated relocation UI and flow. So they updated relocation UI. That's pretty cool. I know people really like, I don't know why. Like, here's the thing is, I guess if I don't care about the team, like if I take over, I don't know, the Raiders, and I'll move them out of I'll move them back to Oakland. But if I'm taking over the Steelers, I don't want to relocate them. I don't know. People really like the relocation thing. It's, you know, something that's happened frequently in the NFL, so I can see why people like it a lot. Maybe expansion drafts were always fun. I remember doing those back in the day when, you know, Houston came. That's an old one. Was that 2001? 2002? What was that expansion draft? I don't remember, but that was fun way back in the day. So stuff like that's always enjoyable in franchise. Superstar. Now a lot of this is offline superstar stuff. I will say I will be very disappointed based off my feedback for Superstar. Like if they launch with a solo ranked, which is an awful game mode, if they don't launch solely offline and 3v3, I'll be very disappointed in the entire game developing. I'll be like, you guys are idiots, right? I think people are gonna like Superstar more next year. I for one enjoyed the 3v3 aspect of it, but playing 1v1 with AI computers out there because of how bad the AI is awful. It's a terrible gaming experience. It's like a company. Okay, say you're a company with like a huge like positive brand, right? Like Cyberpunk, right? The brand behind Cyberpunk when they did Witcher and stuff, They were huge. And then they released a stinker, and it completely negated their entire experience. Even though Cyberpunk right now, I've heard, is okay. People look at the company different, right? It's like when you have good products, don't release a trash product aside of it. Focus on making things, a couple things really good, and people are going to love you for it. Do not open the barn doors and let all the animals out, because it's just, I don't want to go chasing horses. I'd rather be chasing waterfalls. I made no sense there. I don't care. Madden Ultimate Team fixed some bugs. I hope they give us some new innovation next year, because it's been stale for a little bit. I've given my opinions. Depth charts, give us formation subs, custom audibles, save game to game. And, you know, I've done videos on that. I'm not going to go any more into that. Presentation stuff. People love presentation stuff. I don't really care that much about presentation. I always skip it. Audio, I play with the audio off. Don't care. UI, they updated some user interface stuff to improve visibility of play art. So overall, our beta feedback is there. Let me know what you guys thought. They changed the beta feedback forums from a couple years ago. What it is, it's a lot harder to sort by top feedback and stuff, which I kind of hate. So EA, I don't know why they changed it. Disappointed that they changed their forum structure, because I kind of want to look through like the most like loved feedback and stuff, and it was very hard to see based off how they do their forums now. But anyways, that's it. Bye.